What's going on, everybody? We're back here with another review. We just got out of the theater from watching Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So in this video, we're gonna cover that movie, and then we're also gonna talk about what we think the future of the MCU is gonna look like. We'll go over a few of the newer heroes from like the shows and the new movies. We'll go over what we think is gonna happen coming up, and what we think is gonna happen in the new movies that have already been announced. Some crazy stuff has already been shown in Doctor Strange, and I know we have a spoiler in the caption of the video, like in the beginning slide, but this is actually a really big release that everybody is kind of freaking out over spoilers for. So I'll say right now, we are going to be talking about spoilers from the movie.
Because this is a hard movie to talk about without any kind of spoilers.
Exactly.
Not really. You can talk about the movie without spoilers.
Yeah, but
kind of. But there's a lot of things that we want to talk about that are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, definitely go check it out. It's definitely worth a watch. I know we say that about most movies, except for Morbius so far. But definitely go check it out. It's worth it. It's a lot built into 2 hours. And it's a really good movie. So let's get right into it, guys. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. What do you guys think about it? First thoughts?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I thought that was really good too.
I was
me too.
Super excited for this.
Yeah, I was too, because it was a lot like kind of like Spider-Man, where they announced the multiverse, so they know anything can happen. But like I was telling Drew in the car, with Spider-Man, people were more like, anything can happen, but we want this one specific thing to happen. They wanted Andrew Garfield. They wanted Tobey Maguire. If they didn't have that, they were going to riot. Yeah. And so, like, with this movie, it's kind of the same anything can happen type feel, but instead of having that one thing that everybody wants, nobody knew it was going to actually happen. Like, I've heard a bunch of things online, from Deadpool to the Fantastic Four to, just a bunch of other things, Captain Carter, which I've said a spoiler already, so I don't really care. They are in it. I mean, Deadpool's not in it.
Not all the Fantastic Four.
Not all the Fantastic Four, but John Krasinski is in it.
Reed Richards.
As Reed Richards.
Richards? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Agent Carter's in it. She's Captain Carter this
What's
time.
What's that actress's name again?
Peggy something, right?
No. I don't know her actual name. Her name in the movie is Peggy Carter.
I'll figure it out in a second.
Right. Yeah. So we'll talk about
Haley Atwell. Thank you.
Haley Atwell. Yeah. We'll talk about the exciting stuff first, and then we'll start talking about the plot and what we think about the rest of the film after. Because I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I get excited really after watching these movies.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Oh, I try on the ride home. I always talk Anna's ear off, and she's like, "I don't know what any of this means." And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Just know that I'm talking about it."
You didn't get the chance to do that today.
Yeah, I didn't do that today. We went to Olive Garden afterwards, and then I drove with Drew here so that we can record. So I was trying to make sure I toned down the talk to save it for the video.
Yeah, I had no one to do that with, so it wasn't a problem for me.
Yeah, he drove his own. Yeah, he drove his own car. It's okay, though. But anyways, so we got a couple new characters. We got America Chavez.
I think the actress who played her was like Xochitl Gomez or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what her name is.
She looks like a different person from the other show that's coming out, though.
One of the kids that I work with told me that she's in some show called like The Babysitter's Club or something. It was like a Netflix show.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay.
Is she?
Yeah, she's in that.
I don't know. I've never seen her in anything else. But she's really good in the movie, I thought. She played a really good teenager, and I noticed they're kind of building toward like a young. I know you said at the theater they were going to do like a young Avengers movie. They might.
Xochitl or Xochitl or something. Gomez.
And so they might be building toward like a young Avengers type movie, with, now we have her, we have Kate Bishop, we have, Yelena. Mm-hmm. So they might be building toward like sort of.
We're gonna still put Peter Parker in there because he's still younger.
We're gonna have Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel coming soon.
Exactly. Which for some reason I thought she was the same as America Chavez, but I guess they're two different characters.
Yeah, they're two. Yeah.
They.
Also you have Kate. You said Kate Bishop already. Never mind.
Yeah, Kate Bishop, and then obviously they have like a bunch of other people that they can obviously put into the young Avengers.
Or even if it's not an Avengers thing, just another group. They could form another group.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Drew in the car. Because we were talking about how should they make another Avengers movie with everybody that they've added, because now they have Kate Bishop, they have America Chavez, they have Moon Knight, the new Captain America, which is Falcon, which that one he's not really a new character, but they also have
he is Captain America now.
Yeah, they have Loki's the girl from Loki. I forgot her name. I think it's like Sally or something.
Yeah,
Sylvie?
Sylvie. Yeah, Sylvie.
I thought because she was like another version of Loki.
Well, what I mean is they have like all of these new characters. Like if they do an Avengers movie, they might put them all in the same movie.
Or an Avengers like
most of those
movie.
are from the show, from TV shows, right?
Yeah.
Well,
so
it'd probably make more sense to do a Disney Plus show like they did with the Defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like how those TV ones have their own like Young Avengers spin-off as like a mini-series.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about is, maybe they'll do like a bunch of different little groups instead of a whole Avengers movie, so that we still see, because we still have like Shang-Chi, the Eternals, we have Blade coming out, the Fantastic Four. We want to see them all like come together, but maybe in a bunch of different like smaller movies, not like one giant Avengers movie, because it might be a little bit easier to do it in like a Disney show.
What's the next Marvel movie coming out?
Thor Love and Thunder.
July something, so pretty soon.
Yeah, and then even there we have Natalie Portman's Thor.
As Mighty Thor.
Yeah, who knows who else is going to show up in that movie? Because now the multiverse is broken. Or not broken, but like it's open. And we know people can actually travel between the verses. So who knows what's going to happen in that movie.
America Chavez's power. She can travel in between universes at will.
Yeah, and then like, we still have Guardians 3. We still have...
The Guardians Christmas holiday special.
The Guardians holiday special. We have Miss Marvel, is it Miss Marvel, the show that's coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still have that one. We still have the Agatha show that,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, she might be looking to break the multiverse again, because she saw what the Scarlet Witch could do. Which, the Scarlet Witch, in this movie, hell of a character. I think she's much better as a villain than she is a hero. What do you guys think?
Scarlet Witch? Yeah. Yeah, that's what
she has more to work with, I think.
I haven't seen WandaVision yet, but from what I've seen from her, like Civil War and Avengers, like I thought she was fine, and I always thought she was just sort of there. But in this one, though, I really liked her take on the antagonist role.
Well, she had like intentions too that you could understand.
Exactly. She's like one of those villains where you understand her motives, so you're like, is she really a villain? Like she's doing some bad stuff, but I can kind of understand why she's doing it. So.
Well, I mean,
she's obviously
she was murdering innocent
people. She was murdering people, but also like you understand her motivation.
Exactly, like she wants kids.
It's not just she's doing it just to do it. She's got a motive.
She wants her kids.
I didn't understand her motive, but I knew what she was trying to do.
Because you never saw one.
Because I didn't empathize with her as a villain. Because with Thanos, you kind of empathize with Thanos to an extent, where you're kind of like, okay, Thanos has his plan, but it's good intentions.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch is just like, okay, she has his plan. It's a selfish plan. She's gonna, take over the multiverse, completely, potentially destroy all universes, and even murder a different version of herself just so she can have her kids. Like that's a really messed up thing to do. But it's like, from what she's been through, you can kind of see why she's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, I'm a parent now, and I would destroy the multiverse for Tony if I could. Like, if I found out that I couldn't have Tony in this reality, I'm going to another one, because Tony is my light right now. And I understand now, because people always say like, oh, I know what it's like to like love a child, but they don't have kids, and it's like, no, you don't. Because now that I have a kid, I've realized that I thought that before, and I know that it's bullshit from before. So, so like it's a whole different animal when you have a kid. So like, I understand where she's coming from, especially now that I'm a parent. I'm like, yeah, I would probably do that. Like if I had that power, I'd probably go into another reality.
She doesn't have vision anymore.
Exactly. Even that too. Like she had to kill Vision. She had the whole Sokovia thing.
She had to put a hole through the head of the person that she loved the most.
Exactly, and it meant nothing.
That was a big that she was it meant nothing.
And it meant nothing because he just brought him back, took it out himself, and then snapped the universe away. So she's been through quite a bit in this like MCU. Like I think out of everybody, it's probably Thor who's been through a lot, and then her.
Well, Peter.
What? Peter Parker?
Yeah.
What else has he been through though?
And what?
Pretty much every hero has some sort of
everyone,
trauma.
Yeah, but I mean, like those who have gone through like the most trauma. You have Thor, of course, who's like, he had to kill, or his father died, his mother was killed in front of him, his brother, he had to kill his sister. you know, he's been through some shit. His best friend died right in front of him. He failed at killing Thanos twice. Nobody's been through more than Thor. And then I think there's Scarlet Witch, who's like, you know, her parents, of course, her brother, Sokovia, you know, Westview, you know, now that she's a Scarlet Witch, the whole multiverse thing, she's been through some shit.
I'd argue someone like Nebula has been through the most.
I mean,
Nebula has been.
I mean,
because it was yeah.
Well, she was in the same scenario as Gamora, right? Where
But
like Thanos destroyed her planet.
Yeah, and she lost all the battles that she fought with her sister. So every time she lost, Thanos cut off a part of her body, and replaced her with a machine.
Yeah,
maybe I'm forgetting something.
Which is why she was so angry all the time.
And she had the worst charm of all, having to only be a side character of the Guardians, and no one remembers her. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Poor Karen Gillan.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Nebula's actually a really good character.
Yeah, she got much better after the first movie.
Yeah. Nebula's played by Karen Gillan, who you may know as Amy Pond from Doctor Who. Some of my favorite seasons are from Amy Pond, but we're not talking about Doctor Who today.
No,
that's
not.
another video that we're having.
That's why I was...
Yeah, we're planning another video about Doctor Who, so keep tuned for that. Anyways, back to this movie.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I was going to say Doctor Who again.
Doctor Who. Yeah, I think they handled the multiverse really well. I think so. Like, they did a lot of outrageous multiverses.
The paint.
Yeah, the paint one.
One of them was where you're just paint.
Yeah, you're literally just like paint flying through the air, and then there's another one that's, you know, you are. What was the other one? Oh, you're like a cartoon. They brought him into the What If verse just for like a split second. There's a scene where Doctor Strange and America Chavez are just kind of flying through the universes, and it's in the trailer too. But the way they go through them and they start changing, it's interesting to see, because it's like, you know, they become paint, they become the cartoon, they become like, they go through a whole bunch of different universes where stuff's like on fire, there's dinosaurs, there's a bunch of crazy shit, which I thought they were going to use that to sort of bring in some other universes, like make them fly through the mutant house, you know, like Professor X's academy, or they were going to make them fly through like, I don't know, just some other place, maybe like some other heroes are fighting through a city and they're just flying through it or something like that. I thought that'd be a cool little place that they can put an Easter egg, and maybe I missed a few, but maybe I didn't, who knows.
Yeah, I really liked the way they did the multiverse in this, which was, I think they kind of underdid it, which was in their favor, because, you know, when you start going to the multiverse, you can kind of just go off crazy paths and just distract yourself from the whole overarching story of their universe. But I like that this movie really were only in one other universe, maybe two other universes at the most. And so I like that they didn't go all out. It made me a little bit more hopeful for what they could do with multiverse, where my thought process initially was that they're going to try to use it as an excuse to bring a whole bunch of like old characters that people loved, or
it's like fan service,
old actors, and bring them into this universe.
It's like fan service, right?
Yeah. What?
But not with any actual intention, just like
intention.
Just like a small cameo.
Like, we know you want this, so here.
Like a cameo.
Yeah. But now it's more along the lines of they can use this as an excuse to bring people in who are established in other universes, rather than having an origin story for everyone. Which I like that more.
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, other movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once, they use the multiverse to sort of add to their story, whereas there was a use for each multiverse or each universe. It wasn't just like, hey, there's a universe here, it's cool universe, go watch this universe. It was more like, yeah, we're going to this universe, but for a reason we have to go back to this other universe now. And this movie, it was like, you know, they did visit other universes, and I think, you know, I agree with Drew where if you make a multiverse movie, it's probably a lot easier to get lost in like, oh man, I want to visit this universe, I visit this universe, and they kind of get lost from the actual main universe where everything is happening. But I think the two movies that we've seen so far with Everything Everywhere and Doctor Strange, where they visit the other universes, they've handled it pretty well. Because while Everything Everywhere has like all those other ones, they all contribute to the main plot in the main universe. And Doctor Strange, while they do visit the other ones, that's where the story is going. Like it's not like, oh yeah, Doctor Strange is gonna go take a 2-hour, you know, detour into this universe just so you can see the universe. It's like they're visiting another universe
with a purpose.
Exactly, with a purpose. It
was
just
go
that
find
one
another Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just that one other universe. Really,
yeah,
it's the one with the Illuminati.
But when you compare Everything Everywhere and Doctor Strange, it was for Everything Everywhere. All those different universes, they were more like they were more like a purpose for the plot. Like they they were. I'm trying to think the word. Not plot point, but
Exposition.
they essentially they went there with the intent of doing something for the plot.
The exposition, right?
I wouldn't say exposition. It's essentially they went there they went there for the goal of something to get a certain power or something, and that helped them in that scenario. While with Doctor Strange, the other multiverses, they weren't really like a point for the plot. It was more like the next chapter of the plot.
It was kind of like with Endgame when they were traveling into different time periods to get stones.
Yeah.
They were going to those time periods for a reason. It wasn't just to be like, hey, look at this flashback.
Yeah, exactly. Like, movies that go into other universes, other realities, other, like back in time and stuff like that, they need to use that as more of a way to continue the plot in the original timeline or the original reality, rather than, just a small tourist attraction for fans to be like, oh my god, we're in this universe, now it's awesome. So I think it's been used pretty well so far in Doctor Strange 2 and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I expected a little bit more in this movie, if I'm being honest.
Like more cameos or more like surprises?
More introductions, more surprises. Because anything could have happened in this movie. And it was cool what did happen. We got America Chavez, we got zombie Doctor Strange, we got the Illuminati, we got...
the what-if version of Doctor Strange, too.
Exactly, the what-if version of Doctor Strange. We got a bunch of crazy things that happened in this movie. But I expected a little bit more. I don't know. I expected something more solid. Because they did see the Illuminati. But, again, we've already said the spoiler alert. They all died. So there's nobody who's going to come back. There's no more Illuminati.
What was that guy's name that when he spoke, it was like...
I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. Oh. Which sucked, too, because they made him sound like he was going to be such a badass in this movie. Because he was like... So in that universe, he's the guy who killed Doctor Strange because he's, like...
Because Doctor Strange got the dark, whatever they call it.
Yeah, he had the Darkhold, which is basically
Darkhold,
what's possessing Wanda right now. And so he went crazy, started killing a bunch of people, and so they ended up killing him. And the way they did that was by the guy that we were talking about, which I really don't remember his name. I don't know who he was, but he's basically he's like a voice superhero. His voice is really loud. He can kill people.
Basically, like in X-Men, Cyclops has the thing with the eyes. He had the thing with his mouth where if he talked, it would...
I was going to say, more like you in Skyrim, those elders people on top
the
of the mountain.
To shout
it. Like when they speak, they just kill you.
Yeah, I was thinking more like Shiva from Mortal Kombat. Shao Kahn's wife. She has the white hair. Or who's the guy from X-Men First Class who goes, ah? He's like a Sonic.
That's the only one I haven't seen since First Class.
Oh, I don't know his name, but anyways, he has a voice where if he even whispers, he can just blow your head off.
It's like sound waves.
Yeah, basically his sound waves are so powerful he can just kill you.
So he has to sign.
Yeah, he has to sign. He can't really speak, and if he does, you're fucked. But he died very terribly. He basically so Wanda did what they call dream walking, where she can summon or basically possess her version in a different universe.
They used the word puppeteer. Basically, they pretty much become puppets.
Exactly, they pretty much become the puppet. So she found the Wanda in that universe, took over, and then showed up at the Illuminati headquarters, and for Doctor Strange and America Chavez, but ended up just wrecking house there. That dude with the voice, they were like, he can. With his mouth, he can kill you with just a whisper from his mouth. And she was like, what mouth? And then she just turned his mouth.
It zooms,
into nothing.
Pans down, and there's no mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, she closed his mouth, and obviously he started to freak out. And because he freaked out,
he went.
His voice inside blew out the back of his head.
It was great.
That movie was a lot bloodier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we should say this movie's definitely not for kids. This movie is definitely a lot bloodier, a lot gorier, and
it earned its PG-13.
It's more intense. And I would say it was on that line of PG-13R.
Yeah, it is definitely pushing the PG-13 limit. And she just killed the Illuminati. She destroyed that guy like that. She turned Mr. Fantastic into basically spaghetti and then blew his head off. She cut Captain Carter in half with her own shield. She destroyed Miss Marvel with a statue.
Oh, it's not Brie Larson.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
It's not Brie Larson's Captain Marvel either.
Yeah, it's not Brie Larson.
It's her friend from the movie.
Yeah, it's her friend from the movie who, and who was in WandaVision. That was the
No, it's a different one.
who was it?
That one's a different. That one's a different.
Oh, that was
Captain
the
Marvel.
daughter of that.
I don't remember.
And so in WandaVision, the woman who
you
gets
haven't
the
seen WandaVision.
Yeah,
have
no, I
you?
haven't.
there's a woman who gets the powers when she tries to go into the bubble.
Wait, before we start,
Yeah.
It's fine.
are you
I'm
okay with us
yeah,
like
I'm
spoiling
okay,
the
yeah.
shows because you haven't seen any of
The
shows.
show's been out for a while. I
Okay.
should have gotten to it by now.
But
I
like,
don't
if we talk about any of the shows, are there any that you want us to keep off limits that you really want to
care.
watch?
No, I don't care.
You don't care if we talk.
No.
Okay.
Monica.
And spoiler for any of the Marvel shows that
Yeah.
come out, like WandaVision, Hawkeye, stuff like that.
Her name was Monica something. Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, Monica Rambeau.
That's the daughter of the woman from Captain Marvel, her friend.
Which makes sense because
Remember in Captain Marvel there's that little girl sitting on the porch?
yeah,
That's,
the one who
that's
lets her pick
Monica.
her, like,
The little
her
girl
colors.
sitting on the porch? Yeah,
Yeah, she
that's
also
Monica
picked
Rambeau as a child.
interesting. I didn't know that. I have to rewatch
Because Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s.
Oh
So
damn! So there's so many different Marvels, like Captain
Miss Marvel,
Marvels.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel,
and there's
Marvel.
like 4 different Captain Marvels.
Shazam.
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 Shazam is
the
Captain
original
Marvel.
The original Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But yeah, in this movie, it's her friend from Captain Marvel from the
that
from the
became
movie.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, in a different universe. Basically, the Illuminati is made up of Reed Richards,
Like the
who's John
best heroes.
Krasinski. Yeah, basically the best heroes throughout the multiverse, or at
Or
least
in that
this
world universe.
Yeah, in this universe, they know about the multiverse, and so they've kind of done things to proactively protect the multiverse. Like Mordo, his name is Mordo, right? The guy from the first Doctor Strange, Chiwetel
Yeah,
Ejiofor.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was really surprised to see him in it because I was like,
You were surprised. He was all
Yeah,
over
he was
the
in the
trailers.
trailers.
not surprised, but it was weird to like see him because knowing what
Yeah.
happened to him in the first movie and then you see him.
I figured he was gonna come back. I didn't know he was gonna come back like this. I think they had different. They probably had different plans for him before they decided to open the multiverse. Because if you think about do you remember the end credit scene for the first?
Yeah, he came
his
back.
first Doctor Strange?
He vowed to revenge on Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, he vowed to basically take the sorcery away from anybody who's misusing it. So Doctor Strange, he took it away from the guy who used his legs, used it on his legs when he was paralyzed. You remember that? Yeah, I just watched Doctor Strange last night because I was like, I gotta watch it to see if there's anything connected. But I didn't expect him to come back as this. I thought he was gonna come back as a dude who's coming out to take out all the sorcerers.
Also, I was kind of disappointed by the way he came back. I didn't really like it.
I didn't think he was he would be good enough to be part of the Illuminati.
Is he dead? Because Doctor Strange pushed him down the hall. He goes, "Now I know why your verse doesn't like you. We never see him again."
Yeah, I don't think he's dead.
Is he just gonna starve down there though?
Doctor
Who's gonna save him? Everyone in that building's dead.
Doctor
That's a good point.
Strange accused what is it, Modor?
Mordo, I
Mordo?
think.
Accused Mordor of whatever you
Mordo.
of giving him the access to the Darkhold and
Yeah.
and giving him the book and all that or that universe's version of Doctor Strange. And that's why he was and that's why he ended up being, because you wanted to kill him so you could be in charge of all this.
Yeah, and it sounded like it may have been true.
Yeah, because he got really defensive.
Yeah, the way he got defensive about that, I was like, oh, maybe he did. Maybe he did give.
He's like, you know nothing.
Yeah, the reason they killed Doctor Strange in that universe is because he basically got the Darkhold in order to kill their version of Thanos, and it got to his head.
Murdered thing. He straight up went for the head.
For real. But they said that he went into another universe and demolished that entire universe. Did you guys hear that?
For Doctor Strange, yeah.
Yeah, he went into another universe and destroyed trillions of people to destroy that entire reality.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
They didn't really explain why he did that, though, right?
No, they never explained why, which I thought they were going to. I thought the reason why he was in that other universe with the third eye, the one from What If, I thought that was, gonna explain why he, or who he killed.
Oh, I didn't even, speaking of it, I meant to watch the video before we recorded to see if it explained that.
Which video?
The IGN video that explains the post-credit scenes.
That's fine.
I'll watch it later.
Yeah,
it's
we'll talk about
a couple minutes.
We're supposed to give our own words here.
Yeah, I know. But I was curious to see if they would explain it because I was trying to figure out what the eye meant.
Yeah, the third eye sounds like it might be just a multiverse thing, especially with everything everywhere and Doctor Strange and stuff like that. So,
he's mastered the multiverse.
Yeah, I think one of you guys said, it's opening their third eye.
Yeah, that's what
they don't just see in this reality; they can see other realities, and they can jump back and forth. But yeah, basically she just destroys the Illuminati. Wanda's a really good villain here. You know, she it's this Doctor Strange. So the MCU, I think every movie is like a different sort of genre that they try to play with. You know what I mean? They've gone through magic with Doctor Strange. They've gone through like spy movies with the Winter Soldier. They've gone through and Black Widow. They've gone through like
I don't mean this like in a bad way. I do think sometimes Marvel's pretty formulaic when it comes to their movies.
Yeah.
Because they know what people like. They know what works for them. And so they just kind of...
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to see, when Sam Raimi took over, they kind of were just like full reign, do your thing. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that he was allowed to just do what he wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
The same thing with Ragnarok with Taika Waititi. Mm-hmm. You could tell that they just let him do what he wanted to do.
Which is good. You get to have all these really creative directors doing what they want.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I don't mean that in the bad way. Marvel clearly, like I said, they know what works for them, and it works. And that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like that they use like a different director for almost every hero. Like they don't just have one or two directors directing every movie.
Like the Russo brothers
exactly.
doing all the
They have Taika Waititi, they have Sam Raimi, they have Jon Favreau did some of the Iron Man movies.
John Watts did these 3 Spider-Man movies. He was supposed to do Fantastic Four, but he stepped out because he wanted a break.
Yeah, it makes
maybe
each
it'll be
hero...
Sam Raimi doing some Fantastic Four.
Yeah, maybe it's Sam Raimi.
That was so cool, John Krasinski.
That was awesome. I didn't expect him because I had heard so many different things about this movie. Like, I've heard, the Fantastic Four shows up, I've heard Deadpool shows up. They bring in, like, the X-Men, stuff like that. So I didn't know which ones were going to be real or not. And it turned out Reed was right. Reed Richard. He was right. He was there. I've heard...
So was Professor X was there, too.
Professor X, yeah.
But that was in the trailer.
But he was in the trailer, so... Yeah. And then Captain Carter was in it. Yeah. And, like, I was like, oh man, it'd be awesome if they brought in Captain Carter because she's great, but I didn't expect her to actually show up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she's part of the What If universe. Like, of course they're gonna bring in like some of those characters because the Doctor Strange from the What If universe was there. But I was like, I don't know if they're actually gonna bring her in here. And then there was like a glimpse in the trailer of her shield, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, when it was holding, or it was in the pillar.
Yeah, it was like a small
it hit the pillar
third of a second.
Which was that scene when they were trying to fight her.
Yeah.
Well, is it the same? I haven't seen What If, but is it the same Peggy Carter from the What If, or are they like different?
Yeah.
Because Steve Rogers I forget what happened. He died or something.
Basically, that the terrorist attack from the first Captain America movie. When they were in the lab and he blew up the lab, that happened before the surgery.
Is it the exact same one though, or is it like a different multiverse version of that? Like how there are different multiverse Doctor Stranges.
Well, so in the What If, it's all different universes because it's like this is a universe if this happened. So it's that universe. It's not the one that we know from the it's not the one we know from the MCU. It's the one from the show.
Yeah, but the one that's in the show, is that the exact same universe version of the one in Doctor Strange?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because
I didn't see What If, but I didn't think it'd be either.
In What If, all the characters in all the different universes, they meet up at the end. And if this Doctor Strange died, the one from the What If universe, he fell out of a window and onto a gate, a lot like Ra's al Ghul from Arkham City. But he died, so I don't think it's the same Peggy Carter. I don't think they're actually making the What If series canon. I think they're just showing these characters in the MCU. You know what I mean?
I don't think a possibility. Trying to just show you there are different universes.
Exactly. Or
these
maybe
exist.
Even here's a small taste of this character, and they're gonna show up in this movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if we saw a good Killmonger or who else is in the What If universe?
Look, Killmonger wasn't even good in What If either.
Ultron. Yeah, Vision. That could be the.
Did you hear
the next
when Wanda was killing all the robots in the Illuminati building? One of the robots kept saying Ultron.
Yeah,
because those were Ultron, the Ultron AI.
And you know who voiced that, right?
Was that Paul Bettany?
No, Ross Marquand.
Ross Marquand, right. Yeah.
He was
Red Skull in Infinity War and Endgame. He's in the Walking Dead. He plays
the guy with one arm.
What the hell is his name?
I think he has one arm.
He does have one. He has
watching after
he's got they meet him. They meet him in I'll show you a picture of him.
If it's postseason form, I guess you don't know about it, right?
Yeah. No.
Yes, I don't think you know.
The only person with one arm that I know is Merle.
The only reason I know is because we met him at Terrificon.
Gotcha. Yeah, the only person from Walking Dead that I know with one arm is Merle. And I know he's already Yondu, so he wouldn't be...
Aaron, that's who he plays, this guy.
Another Red Skull. Oh, yeah, I don't know that guy. He's definitely in some of the later seasons.
This thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anybody from Walking Dead past, like, season 4 or 5.
Ross, Wayne, Marquand.
Interesting. Yeah, and they were Ultron. Like, they were definitely Ultron.
Yeah.
It was the AI, yeah.
Which makes me wonder, so in this universe, Ultron worked the way he should have.
Yeah, and he didn't...
Which also makes me wonder who made Ultron. And would have been Mr. Fantastic.
Didn't
Because
Tony Stark make Ultron, though?
Yeah, but
this
he wasn't in there.
Oh, because in Age of Ultron, he becomes way too hyper aware and
well, no, not only that.
There's no Iron Man in their universe.
Yeah. If he had made Ultron, don't you think he would have been in the Illuminati?
Yeah.
Like if they were using.
So maybe Ultron, there's no Iron Man in the universe.
Yeah, and they said
or there's a Tony Stark, but he never became Iron Man.
To my knowledge, I believe there. Like in different universes, there have been a couple of different people who made Ultron. One being Bruce Banner. I thought one was Mr. Fantastic as well.
Yeah, they said Reed Richards was the smartest man in the universe. So I was like, I don't know if they have.
Didn't it? It used to be.
It used to be Iron Man.
Yeah, Tony Stark was the smartest man.
Yeah, Tony Stark, and him and Bruce Banner were like two of the smartest people in the universe. But with Reed Richards now around, they have three of the smartest brains in the universe. But they didn't use Tony, which makes me think maybe he died fighting like.
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
you can finish your thought. I just thought something.
I was just saying, because if they didn't use Tony in that universe, it makes me think maybe he died with the whole Thanos war with Doctor Strange. Well, with Doctor Strange, because he didn't actually die fighting Thanos. They just made it seem like it.
Yeah, they did.
But, yeah, Ultron's in the new universe. The one with the Illuminati. I think
we know he exists in there, at least.
Yeah. I don't know if they can actually travel between universes in this universe.
Ultron?
Yeah, well, the one with the Illuminati, the universe.
They knew about the multiverse.
They know about it, but they're there to protect it.
But they can't travel, right?
Well, Doctor Strange traveled.
Yeah, Doctor Strange traveled
with the Dark.
He dreamed, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but he dreamwalked. He didn't like travel. What I'm trying to get at is maybe they like, because this universe seems like it's full of just like perfect everything. Like everything is just perfect in this universe.
Well,
so maybe like they took things from other universes that were perfect, like Ultron, and they brought them into their thing to help protect.
So they saw things that they liked, and they made them perfect versions. Is what you're saying?
Well, like saw things. So like Ultron didn't work in the main universe, but maybe there's another universe where it did work. So this universe with the Illuminati went to that universe to take Ultron to their universe where it did work.
Because the Illuminati was talking about how they didn't like Doctor Strange going to universe, like messing around with things.
Yeah.
So I feel like going in there, taking an entire piece of technology and bringing it back would be, too much conflict.
That's fair. And I know that they probably couldn't actually like travel. They were probably just dreamwalking, which is basically just possessing somebody in the universe.
It's probably just Doctor Strange dreamwalking because the others didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have Doctor Strange being other Doctor Stranges, that's a powerful being right there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to put something together.
Yeah.
Well, while you're thinking of that, what I was going to say earlier was, if we're talking about how Reed Richards is the smartest person in this universe, it kind of surprised me because Professor X was there too. I would thought he'd be the smartest.
Exactly.
And if that is the case, then like, how dumb is that universe if they couldn't figure out that Scarlet Witch was a big threat?
Exactly.
Because they're like, oh yeah, no, we don't care about that.
So yeah, they kind of laughed it off when he said they said Wanda Maximoff is here and she's going to destroy it. They kind of laughed it off.
Yeah.
They're like.
They thought that Doctor Strange and America Chavez was like the biggest threat, and they didn't realize that Wanda can wreck shit in any universe she wants.
So America Chavez is the first person they know about, at least, that can at will travel between between universes at will. Yeah. I also like her. It was like a star-shaped portal for her.
Yeah.
That's like a thing. That's her symbol.
Yeah, isn't that her symbol in the comics and everything? Is like a big star.
Is that what she does in the comics? Is she just a multiverse traveler in the comics?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think she's also like strong because she seems strong. She punched the glass and it like broke it or shattered it.
Well, she probably uses like, because she's the only. She said she's the only version of her from any universe. So she's the only person in the multiverse who
can
there's only one of you. So you have the option to travel between any universe. You know what I mean? Like, we have other versions of us in other universes, but she probably just only has her.
Well, it's not going to weird anybody out when they see her.
Yeah, so when she punches, she probably punches with the force of, like, every multiverse. or like with the power of whatever she has that she can travel with. So she's probably extremely strong.
Yeah, one thing I was trying to figure out is like if that's maybe like her species, like where her species is can travel through universes. That's what I was trying to figure out because they had like that flashback scene to her with her mother's.
Yeah.
But like her mother seemed surprised that she had those powers. So I wasn't sure if like maybe she almost like a Time Lord where like they can travel through time and space. Yeah. Like if like Margaret Travis's character was just one species that could travel through multiverses, but since she was so young, she couldn't learn how to control them, and there may be other multiverse travelers out there, but they know how to hide and not get caught.
That could be it. Or maybe it's like it's like one universe with a species of people who aren't in other universes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Because
to explain why there's only one of her.
Exactly, and maybe like her parents are the same way too. So there's not other versions of her parents.
Right.
Because if she went into other multiverses, she would have found her parents by now.
Well, Doctor Strange, I think he was also just trying to reassure her by saying, because she was like, I killed them. He goes, no, you didn't. He goes, I'm sure they're out there somewhere just waiting for you.
Exactly. And now that she has this power and she knows how to control it, why are you just joining?
Well, now she's training as a sorcerer too.
Yeah, which is a good skill to have, but I'd be looking for my parents if I was her.
I'm assuming she got a sling, one of the slings, because she said that while she was training, she was having a hard time, and then she's like, I made some sparks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking she was becoming whatever the Doctor Strange people are called.
Sorcerers.
Yeah, sorcerers.
So Wong's the sorcerer supreme, and the others they're just the sorcerers.
Yeah, I was assuming she was becoming a sorcerer, so she could try to learn to control herself in general.
And then maybe she could teach them how to do it if she can figure it out.
Well, not teach them how to do the multiverse, but to teach herself how to control her multiverse. Because if she can learn the sorcerer stuff, she might be able to get that mental capacity to learn how to multiverse travel without any issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she finally has it now though, since she was able to actually control it at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
When she brought Wanda to that one thing, I think what the issue was, and I think this is what they were getting with, is that when she was opening a portal because she was scared, she was opening like 10 or 12 different portals, and so she finally she was going through all the portals before she finally got to the last one, which is where she ended up. But at the end, she was learning how to open just one at a time. So that's when she opened the one and she went into the living room, or she opened the one and then they went back to Camertage and stuff like that. So I think that's what her problem was, is that she was opening like 10 to 12 different universes and just traveling through all of them before she gets to the new one.
It looked like there were like multiple stars.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
But then there were other times where it looked like there was just one.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. That's
okay.
Is that she finally realized how instead of making like the multiple ones, which would have been those more than one star.
I see what.
She ended up making just one instead of.
Okay, I didn't pick up that's what you were saying.
Yeah, it's like star inside of a star inside of a star inside of a star.
Yeah.
And so on.
So question. So Professor X Xavier was in that universe. Does that mean the X-Men exist in that universe too?
I don't know.
Do you think?
Because where would they have been? Where were they?
Because Marvel has said they're going to make another they're going to introduce the X-Men into the MCU at some point.
Which I mean they just did with Professor X.
They probably have the X-Men, and with how old Professor X looked in this movie, it might have been like he retired and just went to like a board of directors, which is the Illuminati, and decided to do his time there. So so that universe probably has an X-Men, but like there was no reason to go to them.
No.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the voice. Sorry. I wouldn't have been surprised.
We need like a stick.
Yeah, we need like a talking stick.
I wouldn't be surprised if that voice guy was an X-Men.
The voice guy? Oh, that guy.
The one who blew his bird.
Because that sounds like an X-Men power.
That does sound like a real X-Men.
What is it?
Like it's not really like a. He's not really like a superhero with like multiple powers. He's just going like a mutant with one power. So it does sound like it might be him. He might be a mutant. And then, of course, like Professor X, and maybe it was that he like does run the X-Men in that universe, but he keeps the Illuminati separate. And so the Illuminati was in one building, and maybe the X-Men are in that universe. They're just across the universe or across like town or whatever in the house.
So like, what was interesting to me to watch is because obviously Scarlet Witch is really good at like playing mind games. She's super good at getting in her head, but so is Professor X. So you watched, and they both did that like thing. They were getting into each other's heads, and he just kind of appeared in this like white space of the door, and it was like the deep parts of her mind, because you go there and Wanda like come from that little like prison. It was like, help me, and he's like, Wanda, I believe you're trapped in here. If I could pull you out, we might be able to free you. Yeah. And then that red stuff smoke rolls in, and you realize that she's getting back into her head.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it. I thought the one that was trapped was the one from the other universe, and she was trying to get out.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the one. It may have been the one from the universe. I thought it was like the Darkhold was taking hold of her, and so
That's what I thought it was. It
regular
was like a
Wanda,
prison.
Yeah, like good Wanda was stuck under that rubble, but the Darkhold was what was keeping her there, and the Darkhold was possessing her in the main universe. But I could be wrong. It could have been that was the one from the Illuminati universe, and she was trapped because the new Wanda kind of took over.
Because I was thinking that the multiverse in that little bunker cave thing that the Wanda was stuck in, like she was wearing the other universe's Wanda's clothes, and the one that snuck up on her was the wearing the Scarlet Witch clothes.
That's fair. I think he's right. The one under the bunker was the one from the Illuminati universe, and then the one that snuck up on him is the one from the regular universe. Which they call them 838 and then 616.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. They numbered them.
Yeah, is there which one's the main universe for Marvel?
I think 616 is the main universe.
Well, it's like how they do Earth, they do, what do they call it? Earth
For
16. Yeah. No, it's
DC?
like Marvel does that. Earth 16.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Well, in the Marvel Comics universe, what's the main universe?
Oh, I don't know.
We don't have to look it up right now. But
Yeah, I know DC uses that one where they use this is Earth 2 or
yeah.
that's what the new 52 is, isn't it? Like when they have the superheroes from the 52nd universe.
Yeah.
But this one I know they called the one with the Illuminati I think 838, and then they called the main one that Doctor Strange is from is 616.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can use that to differentiate if you guys want. You'd say, oh, they're from the 838 one, but this is 616. Yeah. If you guys want.
Jesus.
Was there anything that you guys expected to be in this movie that wasn't in this movie?
I was expecting to be in.
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
I was expecting a little bit more Bruce Campbell, to be honest.
I did too.
I like this cameo. The pizza guy.
The pizza
the guy from Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Yeah, the Evil Dead guy. Oh yeah, he was the pizza guy.
He was great. Yeah.
He was selling pizza balls, and then Dr. Strange
And America
possessed
Chavez was like, it's like this food's free in most universes. He's gotta pay for that.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, sure it is. You just kind of.
He's like, you steal that cape, and he's like, it's a cloak.
She's been stealing this whole time without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Well, she's 16.
That's still theft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still.
She's a minor.
That's minor theft.
They have something called Juvie, Chris, where you can go. I don't know. I think I expected more surprises, because the Illuminati was great, and then the whole America's Chavez and the Scarlet Witch being the villain, that was all surprising. But I expected more, maybe not like in another Avenger, because I don't think Doctor Strange really needs help in his stories, because he's actually a pretty solid hero.
He went through how many different realities in Endgame?
About 6
or Infinity War?
14,000,001, I think. Or 14,000,005.
Yeah, so he's pretty capable of handling himself, I think.
I mean,
he's a pretty solid one.
he almost lost the Scarlet Witch multiple times in this movie.
Yeah, well, Scarlet Witch.
Well, he didn't go through all the different possibilities either. He's like, I'm just gonna go with the flow and figure it out as I go.
I think what he means is he's a really strong sorcerer, but he almost lost to Scarlet Witch
to be fair,
a lot in this movie.
She's one of the most powerful magic users though in the world.
Yeah, that's another thing to think of is she's probably more powerful.
You saw
if those 5 people in that universe, Mr. Fantastic, Peggy Carter and all those, they could defeat Thanos without a problem, and they couldn't handle Scarlet Witch.
But you look at when she was at Comertage, when they had their defenses up, she just looked at one of them, and then he was able to get into their head.
Yeah.
She just stared at one of them, and then that was a cool shot. It zoomed in on him, and then she just pops up from behind him and goes,
"Run!"
Run.
That's probably why they were like, "Oh, let's wait until we kill Thanos to bring out the Scarlet Witch." Because if we bring her now, people are gonna be so mad that we didn't just throw her at Thanos. Because she would have just tore him apart if she actually.
She also
had the
wasn't
chance.
Full on Scarlet Witch until.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's they probably waited until after Endgame to bring out the full on Scarlet Witch.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're gonna bring on more powerful people.
Maybe she'll be the big bad guy that the Avengers have to fight.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking.
You also Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, well let's get into some other MCU.
The future. That's a good transition. Actually. Yeah. The future of the MCU and what we think.
Actually, before we do that, do you guys have anything else you want to say about Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange, good.
Doctor Strange,
it's good. Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
I guess. Oh, sorry.
What do you guys think out of 5 stars? So we can do that part first.
I give it 4 out of 5.
4.5, somewhere between.
I think I give it a 4. Probably not my favorite Marvel movie, but definitely a big movie in the Marvel
I liked
universe.
it better than the first Doctor Strange.
See, I actually, it's been a while since seeing the first one, but I think I like the first one more.
I don't even know the last time I watched it was.
Sorry.
I also know, like, when the first Doctor Strange came out, I wasn't really going to theaters to see all the Marvel movies at the time.
Yeah, same.
So it wasn't like...
I didn't watch it in
Now I'm going to see them all in theaters because I'm more interested. And
ever since Avengers came out, I've been trying to see as many Marvel movies in theaters.
That's what I am. Yeah,
like the original Avengers.
I don't think I even saw Civil War in theaters.
I saw Civil War. I think since Civil War, I've been watching them all in theaters. I didn't see the first Avengers, I believe. Oh no, I did see the first Avengers in theaters. I don't think I saw the second one.
That one doesn't hold up too well.
Yeah, most of them I didn't see in theaters until Civil War. Like I didn't see the first Guardians. I didn't see the first Doctor Strange. But after that, I started watching them all in theaters because I was like, oh, they're actually building something huge here. They're expanding a lot, and then I watched
I didn't see any of the Iron Mans in theaters either.
I saw the third one because a friend of mine had a birthday and he wanted to go see it, so he brought me and a couple other friends over, and it was a good movie. I thought. I
was like in what year did that come out? The first one.
The first Iron Man.
2008, right?
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
I was either in 5th grade or 6th grade when that movie came out. Jesus Christ! And now
they've been building for a long time, and that wasn't even the first one.
So wait,
the Incredible Hulk came out in like 2006.
No, the Incredible Hulk came out right after Iron Man.
Well, I thought it came out.
It was
before.
same year, but like Iron Man came out first.
So to put that in perspective, I was 11 or 12 at the time when that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'll be 25 in August. Jesus Christ.
The MCU's been going for a time, my friend, a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MCU's been building and building and building, and it's understandable why people like Chris Evans and Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. are like
Tony Stark plays Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's understandable why they're like, I'm done with this, because they've been doing it for like 15 years, and then you finally get people like Tom Holland who are ready to take over. They asked Cumberbatch if he was going to play.
He said he's down to play for 10 more years.
Yeah, which is good because I think, and this will be a good segue into the future. I think he'll be the leader of the Avengers if they do another Avengers.
I think Kevin Feige said that they aren't. He confirmed that they're not doing any more. But the Avengers are, as we know them, it's done.
Kevin Feige can
they also
change
said
his mind.
Andrew Garfield wasn't going to be in Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he said that it as we know the Avengers as we know them, as we know it is done.
So that means anything.
Yeah, before Civil War, they also said we'll never see Spider-Man in the MCU. They also said
I'm still waiting to see him.
Yeah, they also said we'll never see the X-Men. They also said we'll never see Deadpool.
Well, it's just Disney didn't own Fox yet.
Yeah,
they knew they were going to buy Fox.
Yeah, they knew it. They just didn't want to send it out because they were like, we'll have it as a nice little.
When's Mickey Mouse going to come up in the MCU? Huh?
Mickey Mouse, you think?
Yeah.
When's Spider-Man Noir showing up? I want my
Nick Cage
in this whole universe.
We have a Nick Cage video coming out later too.
We do. We are going to film that one after this one, but that's after this one, Chris. Let's move on to the MCU. The future of the MCU. All right. So we know Wanda is a villain now. Well, at least she was a villain in this one.
I think
we don't know if she'll show up as a villain.
I think I'm going to stick with a solid 4 out of 5. I think that feels about right for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Put that somewhere.
Yeah. That's actually what I was writing down because I was in the last video that I was editing. I was trying to figure out when the thing was. I was like 1385 ratings. So I probably won't put a graphic over here for this one, but I'll put it over the other one.
All right then.
Reboot. Reverse 4.5.
Do that.
Yeah, do that. The future of the MCU, guys. All right, we know that Wanda is a very powerful being in the MCU. It's said that she's dead. I don't think she's dead. I don't.
Yeah, this is like I mentioned earlier. This is like when we were at the restaurant. There was a bit too Judas contract for me the way she died.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they're gonna keep her dead.
Yes, people. Do you want to quick if something people don't know what that is? I don't know if you want.
I don't know what it is, so if you want.
Essentially, it's a Teen Titans, which is a DC IP or superheroes. Essentially, they get some person named Tara to join their team, and And what ends up happening is that she can't really control her power. She doesn't really know how to control herself. She's really powerful one, probably the most powerful one besides Raven, and she doesn't know how to control it. So she leaves. She ends up she ends up going with the main villain, Slade. She learns how to control herself, and then she becomes like an undercover spy to attack Teen Titans. Towards the end of the saga in the Judas Contract series, she finds out that what she's doing is wrong. And when she was going to kill the Teen Titans under some mountain, it's collapsing on them, and she sacrifices herself while everything's falling on top of her, and the Teen Titans live. Which I felt was very similar to how Wanda died in this movie.
Yeah, basically Wanda, in order to destroy the Darkhold, she collapses a mountain on top of herself after everybody has already left. But that leaves a lot of interpretation for whether she's actually dead or not.
Or she...
Or
she went to another universe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, because there's obviously like people who obviously died, like the dude with his mouth who blew his brains out, or Professor X, Reed Richards,
his neck snapped.
Those guys are actual dead. She is like,
at least in that universe, though.
She's dead, or is she? That type of thing. So, what I think they're gonna build to is the big baddie Kang, and I think Kang is gonna try to find Wanda, recruit her, and then try to kidnap America Chavez to sort of take over the multiverse.
Jonathan Majors. That's the actor's name that plays Kang.
Who?
What? Jonathan Majors. That's the Kang actor.
Oh, yeah, he's good. He's good. I've seen him in...
Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror?
But what was he in, the actor?
He was in Loki.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where they introduced him into the MCU.
Yeah, he's like the big baddie in Loki. Basically...
Or he was controlling everything that was going on.
Yeah, basically in Loki, he gets picked up... It's after Endgame where he disappears with the Tesseract. He shows up in another universe or another time stream, and the TVA picks him up. The Time Variant
Authority. The Time Variant Authority.
And they're basically like the time police. They go into different...
They stop
variants.
Time crimes from happening.
Yeah, they stop branches from breaking out of the main timeline. It turns out it's all bullshit. Kang was behind everything, and
because he didn't want to get exposed, so he made this whole organization.
Yeah, and so they basically Loki and Sylvie, who's a variant of Loki. A variant is basically like his clone from another reality. They find Kang. And Kang's like, listen, what you can do, because he's written everything out in time.
He knows what's going to happen.
He knows everything that's going to happen. And then when they finally see him is a moment where he's like, oh, I haven't written this far yet. Anything that happens now, I have no idea what's going on. So he's like, what you can do is you can kill me and take over as my like job of writing the multiverse. Or you can let me like do me and I can just continue. And Sylvie ends up killing Kang. Or no, wasn't it that he was like, you can kill me, but a variant of me will come to kill you.
And it might not be as... And it might be worse than I am. Yeah.
And so she kills him and then throws Loki through like a portal to another time. Because Loki doesn't want her to kill him. But she wants to kill him. Because of something that happened. Basically, she kills him. And then when Loki goes into his universe, he starts walking around. And there's like statues of Kang. He's taken over the multiverse. It's on, So
he did that, but so he basically tricked her into killing him.
Yeah, and so I think Kang is going to be the big baddie.
He did know what was going to happen. By the way, he
did know what was going to happen. He knew she was going to kill him. Yeah. He just wrote to play stupid. But he is going to be the big baddie of this Phase 4, and I think it's going to be interesting.
I think he described it. He said he came from like a civilization where he had all these like I don't know powers, but I think he killed a version of himself to get that position.
Yeah, he was basically, I think he said that he in his universe he was smart enough to realize that time travel is real and that the universe is still being like written or something like that. Don't quote me on this. I don't know.
It's been a long
completely
time
about Kang, and it was been a long time since I've seen Loki. But basically, he found out a way to live right at the edge of time where it's still being written. So he writes everything and sends it through time so that time is being written. So he writes everything in the universe. He makes sure everything is set, and that's why he made the TVA, so that if anything branches off from what he's written, they can bring it right back into the main story.
They also confirmed that Owen Wilson's character is going to come back in some way.
Yeah, Owen Wilson's also in Loki.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty good. I like him in Loki.
Mobius?
Loki. I think Mobius. Yeah, that's his name.
Morpheus.
He's basically like an agent for the TVA, but he's really nice to Loki, and he's like giving him a chance.
Because he understands.
Yeah, and I thought it was really clever what they did with Sylvie and how she was hiding. Do you remember that? So Sylvie was like killing TVA members, and they were like, "How is she getting away with this? Where is she hiding?"
Oh, right.
And what she would do is she would hide in areas where there was a catastrophic event. So, in what they were doing is when you veered off the course, it created like some kind of energy level where they can hunt you down and find you and then bring you back to your regular whatever. What she was doing is going to a place with a catastrophic event so that no matter what she did, it wouldn't create energy because everything's just going to be wiped out anyways. Like, she'd go to Pompeii and do some crazy shit because it doesn't matter what she does, Pompeii's still going to get destroyed. And that was really interesting.
That was
to watch.
cool to see,
That's
yeah.
really cool, yeah. So it's really smart. But Kang would be a really good, like, villain for the Avengers, or if they make, like, another, another thing with a bunch of people, another team. I think he would pick up, like Wanda and America and try to change their minds to match like his sort of agenda. And then of course we could talk about like who's left in the Avengers right now. Like what heroes do we have left? Because we have Hawkeye, we have him and Kate Bishop,
The Hulk.
the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have the Hulk, Professor Hulk.
Oh yeah, because he's not
Thor
technically full on. He learned how to control it.
Yeah, we have Thor and the Guardians, Spider-Man of course, but we have a lot of new people now.
Like that, America Chavez didn't know who Spider-Man was, so she's like,
Yeah.
gross. She said, gross.
Gross. He shoots webs out of his butt. What?
He goes, and then he's like, no, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah. What are some other baddies that we've seen recently in new films?
In what?
Like new
Marvel?
films and shows, yeah, like Marvel bad guys that have been
Oh,
introduced.
Christian Bale's playing in Thor. He's playing a character known as a god killer.
I thought, yeah, he's in Thor, right?
Yeah, I said Thor.
Okay.
In the new Thor, he's playing a character that's known as a god killer.
Gotcha. For some reason, I thought he was in the New Guardians, and I realized that's the other guy. He's playing Adam Warlock.
Yeah, Will Poulter. But Adam Warlock
Will Poulter.
isn't necessarily a villain and all.
No, I know, but I mixed him up with Christian Bale's character. I thought Christian Bale was playing Adam Warlock for a second.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry.
No, good.
I can't really think of any villains post Endgame besides Scarlet Witch at this point. Because the Eternals one was kind of forgettable. It's just that.
I don't even remember what that villain was.
I think he was supposed to be like Galactica.
Galactus. Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about like the main villain.
Oh, the one that appeared in the sky.
The Superman wannabe.
Yeah.
Not him. No,
Water, are you okay?
I'm good.
the
It just snuck up on me.
It was
the
like
allergies.
the dog thing that kind of turns like a human-like form.
The dog.
It was like the creatures that the Eternals were trying to kill.
Oh, they called them deviants.
Deviants.
Yeah, the deviants.
So yeah, the deviants, and then
That's what they were calling.
then there was Galactus too.
But that's what they called the people that veered off the time. They were deviants.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I was really confused during Eternals, because in Loki,
Wait,
Yeah, I know they mentioned
if
deviants.
if
you're
you
a
veered off the
devi-
main timeline, they called you a deviant.
so if you're a deviant, does that mean?
What?
Wait, were they like one and the same?
What?
Well, maybe if you veered off the main line, you became a deviant, like one of the alien creatures. I don't know.
But then
That was really confusing.
and Black Widow, they had Taskmaster, who was not really a villain at the end.
No, and they're
No,
not
because-
villain anymore.
Because it was like she was like the daughter of
Yeah.
Yeah.
that guy,
And then in all the
and,
shows,
and he like brainwashed her.
in all the shows, the only villain that's still either alive or relevant
It
is
was
Kang.
Agatha,
And Agatha. Yeah, we Agatha.
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah. And then what other movies have come out? Shang-Chi, the guy, his dad died, so he's
Yeah,
not.
he's dead.
And the Death Eater, or
What-
whatever the giant.
What other
monster is dead.
Marvel movies are coming this year? We already said
I actually made a list on my phone.
we already said Thor's coming out next.
I have come
Blade.
prepared.
Is what comes out this year? I mean, though.
Comes out this year.
Thor. Ant-Man.
Ant-Man comes out February. Next year. Black Panther 2 comes out next year.
Thor, Fantastic Four, Blade, Agatha show, Echo show, She-Hulk show, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I'm pretty sure comes out.
No, Secret Invasion show comes out at some point.
Secret Invasions, the Guardians Holiday Special, What If Season 2, She-Hulk.
I think the holiday special comes out this year too.
Yeah.
And then the movie comes out next
year.
Sometime next year.
Miss Marvel, Ant-Man and Wasp 3, Guardians 3, and the Marvels.
Yeah. Is Thor the last one coming out this year?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Because they delayed Ant-Man and Black Panther.
Yeah, so Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor, and apparently Wakanda Forever is supposed to come out this year still. I'm not sure if they actually did move it back or not, but it's supposed to come out this year.
Black Panther?
Yeah. Which should be an interesting movie, because who knows what they're going to do now that Chadwick Boseman's
I'm sure he's going to take over, because in the comics his sister takes over, so...
Yeah, and I mean, she's really the only one who could use the Black Panther, powers, because Nakia is already a badass, Okoye is already a badass. Shuri's really smart, but I feel like her smarts with the Black Panther powers...
She could create really cool...
Yeah, she could be a really good villain. Not villain, a good hero, I mean.
Do you know something I don't?
No, she could take over the Black Panther moniker. The only other thing I can think of is if they brought the what-if version of Killmonger, who's actually a good guy.
Well...
You never know, because they brought him in from...
But I thought he tricked them, and he was really not a good guy.
I haven't seen, the last 2 episodes, so it's definitely possible. Did you see it?
I saw that whole Black Panther episode. I thought he wasn't a good guy. He, pretended he was, and then he wasn't.
Oh, I don't remember. I thought he was a good guy.
No, in the beginning of the episode he seemed like he was, and then he tricked them.
I don't know. But Black Panther should be interesting. I wrote some notes about what I want to talk about. Let me see here. So, Black Panther... Do you think they're going to recast a Black Panther? Or do you think they're going to just do Shuri?
Shuri.
They probably
I think like we were talking about, it would be a cool idea if they don't replace Black Panther at all.
They don't want to.
And the movies just focus on the characters within Wakanda.
We did do that. We said
the director said they're not going to replace him anyways.
Yeah, no, but doing a movie where instead of replacing him or doing a thing, they did a tournament within Wakanda between the tribes of who's going to be the next Black Panther. That way you could have Shuri will be in it, some of the other tribes will have people, and then the guy who fought him in the first movie, the gorilla, I forgot his name. The gorilla guy, the one that his tribe is in the mountains, they're kind of outcasts. I don't know his name, but
Winston Duke's character.
Yeah, and they can all battle it out to see who's going to become the next Black Panther. So that'd be interesting, and then see Shuri will obviously win, but we'll see how she can actually win. She could probably use her brains to win, and then she'll use the powers, but she'll know that her brains are more important than the strength and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Strength or brains and good morals are much more important than power. What were you gonna say?
What?
You have your mouth open like you're gonna
say.
Did I? Yeah, I was talking the entire time. I was looking at you, you were like. And I was like, "Are you gonna say something? What are you saying?" But yeah, we have Black Panther coming out. Should be interesting. Thor 4, and of course we have Natalie Portman coming in as the new Thor.
The Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Thor. Yeah. Which I heard it might be Thor Odin's daughter.
Yeah. Oh, now?
Thor Odin's daughter, because Odin's son is kind of like a title.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
not really or Thor Odin's son is a title. It's not really his.
No,
name.
it's Odin's son.
Yeah, he's Odin's son, but now she'll be Thor Odin's daughter, because she's a woman. She's Odin's daughter.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And then obviously we have Guardians 3 coming out with Adam Warlock and those golden people. I don't know who they are.
I think that's supposed to be the last Guardians movie, right? It's Volume 3.
I think so, yeah. And then they have the holiday special, but I don't know if they're going to make any more Guardians movies. They'll probably just sit in the background, or maybe they'll all die, who knows, in this last one.
Or maybe they'll show up in other Marvel movies.
Yeah, maybe they're sick of being Guardians from now on.
Chris Pratt can go chase dinosaurs and be Mario and Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. What else? Who do you think is going to be, if they do make another Avengers, we did touch on this for a second, who do you think is going to be the new leader of the Avengers?
I know a lot of people were saying that they thought that Tom Cruise was going to show up in Doctor Strange as Iron Man. Because he didn't. No, because there's this whole thing about if the Avengers were made in the 90s, this is who would play, and they chose Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
Yeah. I don't think he would. But if if they do
Very
make another
disappointing.
Avengers, I think it's somewhere between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange would be a better fit as the leader, but I don't know if they would actually use him as like the leader of the Avengers if they make a new Avengers. What do you guys think?
I'm not really sure. I mean, we still got some of the old original Avengers like Hulk and Hawkeye still around.
That's fair. I thought about that too, but the only thing I think about those is the Hulk is more of a side character. He doesn't really have like his own. He doesn't even have his own movie yet. Like he has, well, he does have his own movie, but he doesn't have like, he's more of like a side character in movies to make it more interesting. I thought about like Hawkeye, but he's basically like retired. I don't think he'll lead the Avengers.
Well, Falcon.
Falcon as Captain America might. That's a good choice. I thought maybe the Eternals will show up again. Maybe they'll try to take over the Avengers, but I think fans would like lash out at that.
Yeah.
That would be
That movie
stupid
wasn't
too.
very good. Yeah. I think it's probably going to be Doctor Strange or Spider-Man or maybe Captain America, like Captain Falcon. I thought about maybe Wanda too, but after this movie, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think she'll be the leader.
She's gonna be their first target.
Yeah, she will. I think she'll be another villain when she comes back too.
Yeah.
Because she did really well as a villain in this movie, so I don't think they'll stop that, anytime soon. Let's see what else we got here. So, let's see here. Do you think there are any other like multiversal possibilities that we can see in these movies? Like who else from other multiverses do you think will show up? I thought about like a funny little thing, and I don't think it'd be like enough for a full movie, but maybe just like a small cameo would be like all the different Hulks.
Maybe, yeah.
Like Lou Ferrigno shows up, or
Yeah.
like the guy who played him in the 2004 movie.
Oh,
2003,
Incredible Hulk, No Way Home.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, exactly. He shows up, and they all just have a big Hulk battle. So that'd be funny.
Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different thing, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try incorporating Morbius in this now because of the way Morbius ended.
Oh god,
that was so
I
stupid.
hope
I'm not-
That was so
I'm not saying
stupid, Drew.
I'm not saying I'd want it,
not. That
but
is.
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if now they start going down that route.
God, I hope not. Morbius was such a bad movie. I did not like Morbius. And then
Go watch our Morbius review,
Yeah.
or don't.
No, do
No,
watch it.
do watch our
I mean,
Morbius
don't
review.
watch the movie.
Don't
Watch
watch
our
our
review.
We also review Batman in that movie, The Batman.
Did we?
So,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot we did a two for one.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So definitely watch.
Yeah,
our
don't
content.
go. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
don't tell me to
Chris.
not watch that content.
This is how I get kicked off of this.
Chris will be replaced in the next video. Definitely watch our content. Don't watch Morbius. It's not a waste. It's a waste.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, watch our content and you'll know the entire movie by the end of our video. Another thing I thought would be interesting for us to talk about would be, like we said, there may not be another like full Avengers movie because there's so many other people out there. But who in the new movies would you like to see team up with the titular characters in those movies?
Deadpool.
You like to see
Sorry,
Deadpool?
what do you mean by that?
So, like, for example, the new Blade movie's coming up. I would love to see him team up with, like, the Punisher and Daredevil. So I would like to see them come into his movie to sort of team up with him and fight vampires. I don't know if it'll actually happen.
Deadpool would be a good fit to like fight with Blade just because of who Deadpool is.
Deadpool will be good. Where do you want to see Deadpool show up? Because I know he's probably going to show up definitely soon. I think he'll show up.
He's gonna show up in Deadpool 3.
You think so? They're going to make a Deadpool
They are
3
making
in the
Deadpool
MCU?
3. It's already been confirmed it's gonna be part of the MCU, and it will be rated R. So
That's not
and
bad.
so will Blade.
Good.
If
Blade should not
Deadpool's
be
gonna
anything
have a
else, no.
crossover with any of them, it'll probably be one of the Fox ones,
Like an X-Men.
like X-Men or Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I would like to see him with Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot
Spider-Man,
Fantastic
Deadpool.
Four was Fox.
I'd like to see a Spider-Man Deadpool crossover.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a thing that's like people have been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, because they at least in the animated shows, they cross a lot and they see each other and they're actually pretty funny together. I don't know if about in the comics. I don't really read comics, but I know in the animated shows they cross over and they're pretty funny every time they do. So I'd love to see Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds and Tom Holland together in the MCU.
In the Deadpool game, I'm pretty sure at one point she's like, "Where's that spider guy?" or something.
Yeah, exactly. They're always making fun of each other. Let me see. Who else did I say? I thought. Oh, I'd love to see, and I think they're gonna do it. Is Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange, because I think Doctor Strange will be in the next Shang-Chi movie.
Probably.
Because he didn't show up in this one, which is stupid.
But Wong was.
Wong was, yeah. But I think
What was Wong doing again?
In Shang-Chi, he was singing Hotel California.
yeah, yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he was the one. He was fighting Abomination at first, and then he came out and he took Shang-Chi in to talk about his rings.
Is that where in No Way Home he was going?
Probably not. No.
Remember in No Way Home, Wong was like, I don't want to see a mess when I come back, and he went through a portal and he left.
I think Wong just travels because he's the Supreme
he's a
Chancellor.
sorcerer.
He's Sorcerer Supreme, yeah.
He's the Supreme Chancellor,
So, I mean,
Palpatine.
there's there's temples in like every part of the world.
There are, yeah.
He's probably just visiting another temple. Yeah, I thought when No Way Home came out, I thought that they were going to talk about this one villain I heard about where he was like a demon, like basically a demon from hell, and so he had to keep everything. Yeah, he had to keep everything cold because he was a demon from hell.
Yeah,
and I thought that's why they were going to do all the like snow in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
I would love to see them bring Mephisto into the MCU.
You never know, man. We'll see. They're going to bring probably Doctor Doom in the next Fantastic Four movie.
That's like in every Fantastic Four movie.
Huh?
Like every Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, basically.
That's all they do is Doctor Doom.
Then the Silver Surfer.
Which still had Doctor
Silver
Doom.
Surfer.
I know it still had Doctor Doom in it.
Silver Surfer's more of a anti-hero anyways. He's not
I
really
know.
a villain. And the only other person they really fight is Galactus.
I tried watching the first Fantastic Four movie. Recently, I'm like, ooh, this is not age great. This is not.
The first one with Chris Evans as the Doctor?
Or you talking about the first one from the 90s.
From the what?
From the 90s.
I didn't even realize there was one from the
You want to say
There's one from the
there's a
90s.
Captain America movie from like the. How long ago did they make it? It was like the 80s or something, and it's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens, dude. I know I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. I'm looking forward to Blade. I'm looking forward to all of these movies coming out, all these shows. I'm definitely going to watch them. We'll see who else shows up.
Did you see the last Fantastic Four movie with Miles Teller?
I did
Four
not.
Stick. Fan Four Stick.
Fan 4 what?
Fan Four Stick. They call it that because it's like fan, and then they put the 4 right in the middle, and it's STIC. It's
Because the 4 is supposed to be an A.
yeah.
Oh, so it's Fant 4 Stick?
It's supposed to be fantastic,
But
but they put the 4 as the A, so we call it a Fan 4 Stick.
Oh, that was clever.
Yeah.
Whoever made that art. So clever. But yeah, I think the big baddie is going to be Kang. I think he's going to bring out Wanda and probably try to hunt down America Chavez. No, not us. He's probably going to try to hunt down America, and then the Avengers are probably going to have to defend her. You know?
You go, stop it.
Stop it, Kang. Don't do that. She's just a kid, man. Don't
Dude,
do that.
relax. All right?
Dude, just
We'll go get some
shut up.
coffee. Just relax. I'll pay for your lunch. It's fine.
Yeah. Are there any other ideas you guys have for the future of the MCU? Or anything else you guys want to talk about?
I can't really think of much. I mean, earlier you and I were talking,
Why'd you keep stopping every time we do that?
so that way we don't have to like sync up the
Oh,
audio.
yeah.
So that way
Sorry.
he can mute when you cough,
Yeah.
without having to mute what I
So
say.
it just looks like I'm going,
I can sync
Yeah.
up this audio with just your coughing.
What was I talking about? I forget.
So we were talking about in the car.
the future.
About the future of the MCU.
I genuinely forgot.
Can we play back his audio?
Well, he didn't say it, so how are we wanted me to play back him forgetting the idea?
What were we even talking about?
I said if there's any like last ideas you guys had about the MCU, and then we said about you were talking about something that I said in the car.
No, I was mentioning something in the car, but I forget now.
I don't remember. We talked about a lot in the car.
We can move on from this.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stifle. I was trying to go,
All right.
but yeah. Anyways, any last thoughts, Chris?
I'm good.
Any last thoughts?
No,
about
I'm
the
good.
MCU?
I'm
Okay,
good.
okay.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
God, this went really well and just turned into a mess.
Yeah. I'm just watching it spiky.
Yep.
I'm
Be
sorry.
fun to edit.
Kevin, I'm sorry for your ears.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think of anything else. I think I've gotten everything out. Usually I have all these ideas and I try to write them down, and then I always forget about everything once we start recording.
I remember what I was talking about.
Yeah, good.
About how Phase 4, I think, is the only phase that doesn't actually have an Avengers movie coming out.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
the schedule ends at Fantastic Four. It doesn't really end at anything else.
There's no
Like,
Avengers
is that
coming
supposed to
out.
come out next year or the year after?
It's supposed to come out 2023, but I feel like they'll delay 2024.
Yeah.
Just so they can say Fantastic Four 2024. I mean, marketing purposes.
Unless they just haven't, announced that they're doing an Avengers movie and they have actually, started planning it.
Maybe it'll be like the start of Phase 5, but like they usually tell us what the phase is going to be ahead of time.
Yeah, or maybe they'll start up the Avengers lead up on one of the new movies coming out. Like maybe not Thor, but maybe during Black Panther or Guardians 3, they'll start up the next
Oh, I know. We
Avengers setup.
I know we didn't talk about the post-credit scenes. Real quick.
The post-credit scenes, we didn't even talk about that. Who is Charlize Theron's character? I have no idea.
Yeah, so it's basically Doctor Strange comes out of the Sanctum Sanctorum and he's like walking down the street, all cool and stuff.
Yeah, he starts freaking out.
And then you start hearing this guitar play, this electric guitar, rock. And he does this thing where he shakes his head, and he's walking across the street, and then he just stops, and drops to his knees, and then looks up at some screens, and then an eye just appears in his head.
Yeah. And we don't know what that eye means.
Oh no, that was the end of the movie. Sorry, the post-credit scene was
Was Charlize.
Yeah, it was. He was standing there, and then Charlize Theron appears behind him, and it's "Are you coming?" And he's like, "What?"
What,
Yeah.
they said he created one incident or something?
Yeah, fracture or something.
Infraction?
Yeah, an infraction, I think.
What is an
like that.
infraction?
I think it's basically like a disturbance in one of the other realities that you're in.
Okay.
He created a fracture in the universe.
Yeah, or maybe it's due to the No Way Home
And then he goes,
events. Like he created a rift in some kind of time and space because of the spell that he made instead of properly going to the...
and then he goes, on my way, and then the eye opens up on his head.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see who that is. I'm interested to see what's going on next.
So does this Doctor Strange movie take place after? It takes place after No Way Home, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, because they mentioned the event in No Way Home.
Oh, they do. That's right. Okay.
Which is
so it's after.
Oh, sorry.
I just realized I was tapping on the table too. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, it's interesting because Doctor Strange was initially supposed to come out before No Way Home, and because of COVID and everything, they kind of reworked it so that way Spider-Man came out first, which means they had to redo the script since I guess No Way Home was going to mention stuff in Doctor Strange that didn't come out yet. So both scripts were heavily rewritten, so that way they could come out when they came out.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's probably better to have Spider-Man at first rather than Doctor Strange, because it gives you a little bit of a taste of the multiverse. It makes it seem like the multiverse is a bad thing, as a mistake that they went to the multiverse. And then in Doctor Strange, you've already had your little taste of the multiverse. Here's what we can actually do with the multiverse, and it's all these crazy shit that happened.
Which seems like a bigger mistake because of what happens in the movie, but
yeah, which I'll also say about Doctor Strange. A lot of sequels don't do well because the first movie is a lot of setup, so there's a lot of purpose for what they're doing, and introducing the characters and stuff like that. The sequel is usually where they blow everything up. They do grander scale, bigger villains, more characters, stuff like that, and they show what this character can actually do. And I thought it was a really good sequel. Depending on.
Same thing you took at Deadpool 2. They didn't have to introduce him anymore. They didn't have to give his origin story, so they were just able to just go all out.
Exactly. But some movies don't do well with stuff like that. Like, Iron Man 2 wasn't great.
no.
No.
Captain America 2 was really good. Now that we know who Captain America is, he can just go all out and show us what he can do today. And then, stuff like Thor 2 wasn't very good. But
Yeah.
Guardians 2 I thought was pretty good, but I don't know.
I still like the first one better than the...
Yeah, the first one was definitely better. Doctor Strange, I'll say I like the second one better than the first one.
Me too.
I thought so. Yeah. But as a sequel, I think it did really well. If you can really show what this character can do in the sequel, then you've got a lot of really good material on your hands. If you got The Dark Knight did really good with that. Other movies had a sequel that was really good because they introduced the first one and then they just blew everything up in the second one. Sonic 2 was okay with that. In the first one was a lot of good setup for Sonic, and then the second one was all right, well, now we know who Sonic is, who's Knuckles, who's Tails, let's blow everything up. Who's, what's the Master Emerald, stuff like that. And so, I thought it was really good as a sequel.
Yeah,
as opposed to other sequels. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll wrap this up here. We've gone for a little bit now.
Well, how long have we gone?
I don't know, but our last one was like 45 minutes, and it was at like 1,700. So this one's at 2,400 right now. So this is probably a good like hour and a half or so. I'd say, or maybe not. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe probably like an hour and 10 minutes.
Nope, we're good.
But yeah, we'll wrap this one up. We'll talk more about the MCU come Thor if we think of anything else. We'll definitely do a review for Thor in July. Once we're done with this video, we're going to be shooting a review. We're going to do a hat trick in a movie or in a podcast. It's going to be Father Stew, the Nick Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and The Northman.
Yeah.
Which I'll say, weren't bad movies. Definitely go watch them. But watch our review if you want after you've seen them. We're gonna go talk about those now. So we'll talk about you. We'll see you guys in the next video. Don't be afraid to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Leave a comment if you want about what movie you want us to see next and what you thought about the MCU. Where you think the MCU is gonna go, and maybe we'll read them and talk about it in the Thor video. Anyways, any last comments? Any last thoughts, guys?
Nothing really. Just thought it was a good movie. Really liked it.
Definitely a really good movie. All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.